Shalom, Jackie Mason. I could not but help but recognize my first shalom from Jerusalem. My name is Yehoshua Yaakov. I'm making this video as a commentary on this salacious, specious piece of trash by Jackie Mason. First, as a Jew, you disgrace the Jewish people. Second, for a guy who never accomplished anything, you pimsqueak punk, what have you ever accomplished? This man rose up, helped people, went and faced all manner of tests in his life. And when he graduated Harvard, he came out. Hillary Rodham Clinton, who you love and support. So I'm told. I don't know if it's so. I really don't care, frankly. Probably it doesn't matter. She ran to the law firm and started spinning deals and accomplishing great things. This guy went to the south side of Chicago and started helping people to help themselves. You've got there's a saying, it's one thing to be a clown, it's another to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Jackie Mason, you're talking about yourself, and get the mess out of your diaper. It's starting to smell up the place. What did Barack Obama do? But what did Barack Obama do? What did he ever do? What did he ever accomplish? Okay, I'm going to name a few things that he did. For example, he's identified the over-the-horizon vision for Americans, the most revolutionary construct for changing fundamentally the structure of both East-West systems. Not that you're intelligent enough to know or understand the context, but the global reality has collapsed. That's the end of men and mankind's exile. But a cluck like you who's assimilated in America, laying on cheap jokes and spins about someone of quality and substance and telling everybody what a nothing he is, you're talking about yourself, Jackie Mason. You're the one who's a nothing. Anyway, the East-West convergence model, Humanomics, he's identified that as the new convergence model for the post-collapse of the local reality. That it means when man and mankind's exile ends, which it has, and it has two paradigms. I'll spell the word for you, Jackie, because I don't think you know what a paradigm is. P-A-R-A-D-I-G. It means an entirely new system, one that's going to benefit people. You know. This is what you were talking about. You said he doesn't know anything. You're the idiot. You're the one who doesn't know anything. The first paradigm, the central organizing principle of Humanomics, the East-West convergence model, is received to give kabel b'shvilatet in Hebrew, if you ever learned to speak it. And if you did, you ought to lay on a couple of brachas and ask God's forgiveness for being such a specious clown and a jerk that disgraces the clowl with your imbecilic big mouth. Having said that, let's get to Tachlis. The bottom line is this guy is world class. He's not at all what you say. He's down to earth, he's moral, he's ethical, and he's supremely intelligent. All of this ignorance and he's never done anything, you're talking about yourself. The bottom line, the central organizing principle of Humanomics, which is receive to give, is the central organizing principle of Humanomics. It is the first principle of cognitive behavioral science. It means receiving the authentic you to give the authentic you to you, to your family, your children, your community, and the world. That's something you don't know anything about. Why? Because you're clinging to ground zero. Okay, the clown that can't can't get a gig is clinging to ground zero about what a great comic he is. You are comic, all right, but in a way that is not very complimentary to yourself, to your family, your community, and especially to Klal Yisrael. Having said that, receive it to give is the central organizing principle of Humanomics, and in addition, he's identified the over-the-horizon new national platform development strategy for Americans, and it is the integration of labor, which is the new economic paradigm, which will transform the fundamental structure of the economy. It will be built. It will be built upon a new world-class global technological infrastructure, in which he will seek a mandate from the Congress and get it for building its world-class global technological infrastructure. It will create tens of millions of sustainable domestic content jobs, retooling, retraining, and re-educating the entire American workforce, requiring a supply-side investment of over $4 to $5 trillion. 60% of which he's identified will come out of the G9 as strategic partners, and 40% from Americans. It'll be amortized over 20 years. What the hell do you know and understand about things of this order of magnitude and scale? The man speaks in the public domain, and he speaks in very simple and clear and accessible terms because he has humility. He's not an arrogant buffoon and a fool like yourself with a big mouth. I want to suggest something to you. Why don't you shut up and learn to say something and show some proper Derek Eretz and some respect? If you don't know the quality, the character, the ethics, and the morality, and the intelligence, the supreme intelligence of the man, then learn to shut your mouth and keep it shut, because you disgrace your family, and you're a part of my family, and you disgrace me, and you disgrace the klal, and I won't put up with it, and I won't tolerate it. You're a jerk. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, having said that, you better climb down. There's a saying in Israel, come down from the roof, children, before you hurt yourself. And now that you've made a fool of yourself, your family, your community, I would say to you, if you want to do something reasonably credible, you might send an email to Barack Obama and say, I got a big mouth and I'm a clown and I'm a jerk and I want to apologize. And I'm sure David Axelrod will probably throw it in the garbage because he knows you're a jerk. And he probably got an email about this stupid video that you've made. You're an absolute clown. You want to know about some other things that he's done? The list goes on. I'd have to make this video for 4 or 5 hours. And he's a very young man, and he's a very accomplished and extremely intelligent, articulate. And the fact that he does not burden his audiences and his public with his depth and sophistication and incredible intelligence only is an expression of his humility. And he's not perfect, and he's not great, and he doesn't think he's great. And you want to take a lesson from him? Learn. He has the intrinsic humility of Moshe Rabbeinu. This is a lesson that you need. And if you had that lesson, if you understood it and comprehended the significance of it, you wouldn't have such a big mouth and disgrace yourself. His most endearing human virtue is his humility, and it isn't feigned, it isn't pretended. And he comes highly recommended. Michelle Obama, number one. His mother, Anne, and the American people. And that's good enough for me. And when I hear a clown like Jackie Mason with his foul-mouthed libels and his flaming with his crap in his diaper for attention like a 2-year-old, telling everybody about what he's nothing, he's never done anything, he's never accomplished anything, and it's only because he's black, you're a jerk. You're a jerk. Now enough already. Who do you think you are? And there's one more thing that you should know. We're in the redemption. The Jewish people have waited for thousands of years. And for to be in the redemption, there has to be the collapse of the local reality. And he knows more about that than you, and you're Jewish. It shows how close you are to God. So the list goes on and on. You've made a fool of yourself. You're a disgrace and a shame to the Jewish people. Now make it up. Clean up your act. And learn what is important and significant. And this man has already done more for America. He's already than if George Bush served 120 years. Who's a clown, like yourself. Enough said. I shouldn't be so upset because you just simply don't know any better. Now the good news. Now that we're in redemption. Get on with the collapsed local reality, deconstruct it and deprogram that mind, that corrupted mind of yours of exile, and lit palel, get yourself into a minyan and daven and ask God to restore your authentic identity, because you're an assimilated buffoon. Having said that, I'm sure only then will you receive the blessing to heal. But that's my advice to you. Otherwise, get a life, and to get a life you need to get a real identity. The one you got is a broken ladder. Finished. Thanks for listening. Sorry for being so upset. But what you did is extreme and very, very foolish. Nonetheless, shalom from Jerusalem. I'm Yehoshua Yaakov, and I wish you blessings in Kabel B'Shvilutet. Translated, that's receiving to give. You're supposed to say Amen. You're welcome. Shalom.